Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the very first, what are we calling this? Semi-pro commentary track, correct?
Yeah, we'll figure out a proper name in our third one.
Right, and we're going to do several of these over the course of, from now until forever, but this first one we're doing over Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. It was supposed to be live, but that didn't work out, which is fine, but we're going to do it anyway, and I guess now's as good a time as any to just start the movie.
Right, yeah. I am not looking forward to this. That's all I have to say on the matter.
All right, and three, two, one. Everybody can watch at home with us. Watch this beautiful, beautiful film, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, from 1987, which is something I didn't realize. I didn't realize how late this movie
Yeah,
came out.
because it does not show in the quality.
No, no, no. This is 3 years before Batman 89.
Right, yeah.
No, 2 years. This is 2 years before Batman 89, and look at these opening credits. I think it's honestly just beautiful. I mean,
It's quaint, I'll say that. The
uh,
thing is, right, so I think I'm even I'm in an even worse mood to watch this. Oh, that logo's rough.
isn't it?
Because
It's like
because
you know those Photoshop artists, real quick, who when they load in a picture into Photoshop, don't know how to hold shift when they're stretching
oh
it.
yeah, so they just shrink it, and it doesn't keep the size, so it just squashes an image.
So that's what the Superman logo looks like in this movie. Okay, continue.
Uh, I can't wait to watch these 18 hours of opening credits, and there's Lex Luthor.
Well, no, Lex Luthor
20
already
years.
came on. Gene Hackman. This is I don't remember his name. I know he was Lex
Lenny
Luthor's
Lenny
nephew.
Luthor, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
I don't ask me why. Okay, so the thing is, right,
That
I'm
guy's
in an
last name
even
is
worse
Phillip.
mood to watch this because prior to discussing what we were going to do a commentary on, we were talking, oh, the later Superman films aren't that great, but they're fun to watch. We can poke a bit of fun at them. And we started talking about the one with Richard Pryor. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I actually kind of like that one. It's good in an almost campy way. And then we realised that's Superman 3, and we were watching Superman 4. And then we're like, Superman 4 is the one with Nuclear Man. Great. Can't wait.
Well, the thing about it, Superman 3 has worse opening credits. I will say that. Because well, okay, no, I take it back. Superman 3
Music by
has.
John Williams. John Williams, you sad, sad man.
John Williams made this one little clip of audio, and then that's
He
it.
gets a full credit.
Um, but so Superman 3 has these weird live credits. Superman 1 and 2 both have the credits through space, the really big, beautiful credits that they recreated for Superman Returns. And then Superman 3 has like slapstick walking through the streets credits.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that now. Geez, that's rough.
This movie, the opening credits of this movie are so bad that we are talking about the opening credits of another also bad movie. So that's
Fun fact, Sydney Fury is still directing movies today.
what was her latest film, Josh?
Oh, that's a good question, Dalton. And it's great that you think I'd remember that.
Oh, the movie's starting. Look at that minute. That's actually not bad.
No,
Miniature
that's
work.
that's not about miniature.
I thought you
I
said
say
that's.
that this is 87, so I might be being a bit too lenient.
I thought you said that's not a miniature, and I was like, oh, buddy, are you sure?
The ooh, okay.
Uh,
Comments.
well, there's nothing to talk about because it's not in English.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right. It's
It's
so
not
far,
bad.
so far so good.
Wow, are we watching Interstellar?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oof.
All right. It got better when it got closer to the screen, but it's like they didn't know how to composite it
Yeah,
at first.
it feels very strange.
Yeah. Um this we are watching Interstellar. What's that other Gravity with
Oh, Sandra Bullock. Yeah.
Sandra Bullock, yeah. This is
Oh, okay.
this is
that was a bit rough.
this is at least as good as Gravity so far.
This is something else.
remember this shot because if I remember anything about this movie, it's that shot of Superman appears of him flying
There you go.
directly at the
There
camera.
it is again. It was there 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's through the movie very frequently. They use
So
the
many
exact same blue screen. Oh, there, yeah, over and over again.
Man, I want to. I don't. I want to give this movie leniency, but I don't think I can do it.
Well, I would if it didn't come out 2 years before Batman '89.
So, did you know that the movie was originally going to be made by Wes Craven?
Was it actually, or is that a joke?
No, genuinely, it was going to be made by Wes Craven.
That's some horrible compositing. There's that blue screen shot again.
Yeah, a little bit tilted upwards this time.
Yeah. I remember. This is this the one with Lana in it, or was the one before the one with Lana in it? I think
That's
I
a
want to
good
say
question.
Superman 3 is the one with Lana, because I remember something getting maybe overtaken. I do want to point out, great Kent Farm set.
Oh,
However,
yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful.
here's my thing. There's nothing going on for miles around it. Like, there's no corn or wheat. Nothing is growing. And I guess that makes sense because I mean, he's selling the farm, I think.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's cobwebs in the barn right now.
But it's still, like, it just feels very empty. It's a great set, but it feels empty.
It feels empty, but it still feels homely in a way, which is really nice. It feels familiar, I should say.
This is a callback to the first which I also haven't seen, albeit in a very long time. But this is a callback to the first one. It always confused me in the first one because he grabs that stick, the one that the crystal that winds up making the fortress. I'm so confused. I guess he's listening to his mom. What's going on? But anyway, so he grabs that, and I always thought it was kryptonite. Because they made it a green crystal for some reason. I don't know why. Why make it red? Make it silver.
Make it white. Make it white.
Right. Any color other than green, because green gets confused with kryptonite. Like, why would you make it?
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but Christopher Reeve co-wrote the story.
I did know that, and it was that was one of his stipulations for staying on, if I remember correctly. And that's why it's such a nuclear-heavy plot, is because that was his...
he wanted to make it about, like, quote-unquote world peace, and he was very anti-nuclear power.
Right, and it was horrible.
Yeah, but beyond that, that was why Wes Craven didn't want to direct, because him and Christopher Reeve, that is a horrible fade-out. Him and Christopher Reeve, like, had creative differences, and Margot Kidder and Christopher Reeve hated each other. On this.
He's looking up. It's the worst looking X-ray vision effect I think I've ever seen in my life.
The special effects as a whole just aren't good.
Well, and the thing is, I would give leniency to that.
Had this not been 1987.
Well, had there not been 2 films before that with better special effects.
Yeah.
Also, did he just make that disappear with his mind? This was still...
Yeah, I thought he did. He just seemed to look at it. Maybe he heat visioned it out. Why wouldn't you just close the barn doors?
I think this is still during the time when Superman just had every power, and he just was getting new powers willy-nilly.
Yeah, the same way he could, like, shoot mini Superman out of his hands.
Right. I can't remember if it's this movie or 3 where he rebuilds the Great Wall of China with just his eyes. But it's one of those.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. I think it's this one.
I do too, but I have no idea how accurate that is.
The only thing I remember about this was the moon fight, obviously. That's all anyone remembers.
I wonder how frequently Superman does the back in the reverse time thing, and we just don't know about it. Like, I wonder in this universe how frequently he just reverses time and does things over. If he has that ability, well, I would do it all the time. I would just go around telling people my secret identity and then just reversing time so that they didn't know.
Watching them be clueless. Why is he playing catch with this old guy?
I'm gonna assume. Well, I mean, I think it's the real estate agent. I think.
Yeah, no, he said it's the real estate agent. He doesn't want it to go to some big developer.
Gotcha.
But it's
So,
also just so random. Apparently, he's a family friend, but I don't remember him.
I mean, I would think he would be just because it's a small town. So,
Okay, yeah, I'll give him that. I do like that he's like waiting for a farmer. He doesn't just want some random dude to come pick up the land and build a mall or whatever. I think that's very nice.
right. Yeah. I've that part makes a lot of sense, and it's very Clark Kent. The the best part of this movie, and I would say probably 3 as well, is Christopher Reeve. I mean, he sells the character of Superman. It's kind of like I've been on a Bond kick lately. The worst Bond movies are always made better by whichever actor's in them. Like as bad as Thunderball is, it's also this guy just hitting that baseball into space. We want world peace and we want no more nuclear weapons because they're bad for the environment. Here,
Was
space,
Christopher
have a
Reeve also
baseball.
anti-baseball?
Maybe. But yeah, he makes this watchable, and so does Gene Hackman again.
Oh yeah.
Gene Hackman.
Oh yeah, Gene Hackman's fantastic. He's one of the best Lex Luthors.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know that I think we've maybe had one bad Lex Luthor.
Are you talking about the one who shan't be named?
Yes, that's the one I was speaking of. And some people like him. So
Even him, he's great as a sort of continuation of Hackman's Luthor.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about Eisenberg actually. So
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that he was Lex Luthor. And there's Mr. Lex Luthor now.
And I love his skunk haircut.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. The mullet.
Yeah, well, it's not even a mullet.
It's not a mullet. It's a mohawk.
It's a mullet. It's a mulhawk. It's a skunk dyed mulhawk.
I like how these cars are also just looking at his car, which has horns.
I'm gonna assume those are speakers for his music because he's a punk.
Yeah, I've just realised, which is also, I mean, why hasn't Elon Musk made that?
I
I also like how his name is printed on the car. That's beautiful.
I was just about to mention that, and now the cops are sitting in
Getting
his car.
in.
Oh, he can remote control his car. Okay, so now he's gonna go
Oh.
to jail. He's going to prison, is what's happening.
Yeah, right. He's gonna drive them off.
Gotcha. Wow. All right. All right. Yeah. Let's just drive away.
I like how this is like futuristic technology back then, and now it's like, yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah, I can oh no! What? Oh, do you see the bottom of the car? Look at the bottom. It's a toy. It's a Hot Wheels.
It's beautiful.
It is
It's beautiful
match
what it is.
car. Oh man, that was it was just a flat bottom. The bottom it was flat black, and there was nothing at all. Oh, they survived.
Oh, they survived. That's beautiful. Love it.
Wow.
I like how he's in prison, but he's still got an ascot.
Yeah. His performance is great.
Oh, it's wonderful. It
Oh,
really is.
I'm starting to remember the plot of this, and I'm pretty sure it revolves around
vaguely
Lex
remember the
Luthor
plot.
stealing a lock of Superman's hair from a museum.
I can just about recall what you're talking
I
about.
think that's about to happen. I think that's what him and Lenny are gonna do.
I love that. I mean, we've had a bunch of different versions of Clark and Superman, but you can't really beat Reeves. He has such a distinction between the two, and it's just great.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest issue. As much as I love Smallville, that's my biggest issue. Is there's no distinct. Even when they're doing the nerdy Clark Kent thing, there's zero distinction between Clark Kent and Superman. I mean,
Right, I mean, it's hard to sort of be a Chad and turn off being a Chad.
right. Well, I mean,
But He
the
does it so well.
BVS and Man of Steel both kind of have that issue, and I mean, it's a whole lot more BVS because Man of Steel doesn't really have.
No, Man of Steel kind of merges the characters until the end.
Right. Batman v Superman is the one that first shows us. Also, while I love a good Superman transformation, you got to be a little more subtle than that, man. Like,
Oh, there's the blue screen again.
yep. Oh, it's great. How many times?
Oh.
We should keep a counter. We're at 3 so far.
I'll keep an account of that.
Okay. I want to know by the end. I genuinely do. Also, as much as it is very dated, the Reeves Superman suit has a
It's
really
it's iconic.
yeah. I think for its time, it's even it was a little ahead of its time. Not terribly much. I mean, it's dated by today's standards, but back then, pretty good. The compositing in this, I see it every time he flies, is just the worst.
It really is. But you know how they say Superman 1, like you believe a man could fly?
Uh huh.
It's like I watched this and I think, wow, man's never gonna fly again.
I I just recently did when I bought the DC Universe subscription. One of the first things I did was I watched Superman, the Adventures of Superman, the '50s TV show. Their
Right, and
compositing. I haven't seen the colored seasons. I've only seen the black and white. The
that's
compositing in
George
that,
Reeves, right?
yes, George Reeves, 1950s. The compositing in those flying scenes looks better than this, and that's not a joke. And that's a 1950s television show. Granted, this would probably look better in black and white, but at the same time, they were doing rear projection, and this is blue screen. This is early blue screen. So, you take it and leave it.
Yeah, you know, it's 50-50. Um, I,
Like,
I, I do like that, you know, you've got the two stars of the film, Margot Kidder, Christopher Reeves, and you got the director, and they all hated each other.
yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
One thing I've picked up on is every person in this movie has the biggest glasses I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I like this. I like this sort of rip off Robert De Niro,
Yeah, yeah,
whose name is literally Mr. War.
uh huh.
That's just wonderful. Wow, you're right. I didn't see it before. Even the people in the back.
Yeah, even the extras, everybody's just got the biggest glasses. I like that this one extra, he keeps moving around too. He's got the red T-shirt on that says Daily Planet.
I see. He's in the background now. I can see him. Yeah.
He's not dressed for this meeting.
Not at all. Everyone else is in these nice suits.
Oh,
There's two
okay.
of them.
Yeah, no, there's three of them actually.
Oh, I'm guessing that. Okay, that must be a school trip or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a field trip to the Daily Planet. Wow.
Man, this is. I will say it's not as bad. Like it's not as draggy as I thought it'd be. Like at least every scene's done something.
The pacing so far has been pretty good. They had an action scene when they needed one. I mean,
Yeah,
they
you
opened the movie.
you open the film off with Superman saving people, which is always a good sign.
Right. It's paced somewhat okay. This planet set, I think, is a different planet set from the other movies.
It feels like it, but also I can't remember the planet set
Right.
enough to accurately say.
Right, I can't either, but it feels different, so I'm going to say it is just for the sake of it. I mean, people people are going to listen to what we say anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Uh, we keep on talking about the special effects, right?
Before we get,
I think it's worth mentioning that the special effects crew worked on the first three films and Supergirl, and they were hired. They were gonna work on this film.
okay.
They left in pre-production, and only one guy remained.
So that's why they keep using the one blue screen shot. I do want to just
Because
briefly.
they probably had a bunch of people working on it, but they were just inexperienced. And these were like, you had one guy who knew what he was doing, and anyone who's worked in the field long enough, and as like an experienced member, and has had to work and train new people, like you know what that's like, and it's horrible. Why are they watching this in a school?
Well, I mean that makes sense. Watch the presidential thing. We used to. Do
Oh,
that.
that's the president. I forgot.
Yes, yeah.
That missed me completely.
Speaking of that, there's two things I want to mention. Number one, we can't just gloss over the fact that there's a love triangle going on between Clark, Lois, and blonde chick whose name I've already forgotten.
I'm just gonna call her Blondie because she reminds me of I can't remember her name now, but the lead singer from Blondie.
Right. Now this teacher's talking about these students writing to their congressman. But anyway, I also want to point out that her dad looks like George Bush. So when it gets back to him, you'll see. Oh,
This film, like, it's weird. It's weirdly jumpy, but not in a technical aspect. In that, like,
that's the most.
every scene just goes from one to the next, and there's nothing that connects them.
It almost feels like a PSA or like an after school special. Like an
Yeah,
anti.
it really does. It feels like a TV movie.
Well, it's like one of those anti-drug after-school specials or whatever, but it's anti-nuclear war. Like that's what it feels like. It's
Yeah.
written as an anti-war film, and here, and now, but let's throw Superman in it. Also, we're in the museum now, by the way, and that's Superman's hair that
Yeah,
I was telling
hanging
you,
up £1,000.
which is great. I love that.
I just the thing. Okay, so the thing I'm curious about, and this is because I'm an idiot and I don't have enough knowledge on the subject, so I'd love to be corrected. But unless that hair has any root on it, then it doesn't have his genetic material. It's just hair.
But it's Superman's hair.
It's also weirdly stiff.
But it's
That's a bit
Superman's hair.
worrying.
Well, Josh, that's because it's
It's gelled.
actually a wire. And you can tell it's a wire because it shines when Lex Luthor moves it. Oh, here we're back to the love triangle again. It's just like it's just jump after jump after jump. There's no.
It really is. It's just like this is this scene, and this is this scene, and this is this scene.
I love how Christopher Reeve just stares through the window for a second, like for just a moment. I've come up with a brilliant idea.
He does. I do love his hunched over look. That's great. Like the slight hunch that gives him a sort of weaker look.
Absolutely, and I like how uncomfortable he looks in this scene. Like, because that's, I mean, ideally, that's how somebody would look in this situation. Here's my
Yeah.
question. Because Christopher Reeve is a very handsome man. Christopher Reeve as Superman is a very handsome man. Christopher Reeve as Clark Kent is exhibiting no confidence, and he does not look like a handsome man. What is this woman?
Woman,
See
what
in
did
him.
she see in him? That's a good question.
I get Lois, because they've established that over the course of the last 3 movies. But what does this lady see in Clark? I mean, obviously it's so that they could do a love triangle, but
Is it technically a love rectangle or square? Because it's technically Superman is involved with Lois.
that would make it. I don't know, like a love paradox. I don't know.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a love triangle, but Superman and Clark are on top of each other,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
and they're connected to each other. So it's essentially like it's it's a door stopper.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Perfect. Oh yeah, this is the letter that came. I don't. I understand a student writing this to Superman, and I really like that element of this movie because I like the way that the world balances that. You know.
Yeah, the idea that Superman is a symbol of hope is great.
Right. I mean, that's something I wish like we could see. That's something that I think would be really neat to see in a modern movie. Is something like that, where a student writes a letter to Superman, and that's what causes him to get involved with the plot of the movie. Sure. Also, this is the guy who looks like George Bush. Just real quick. Wait until he turns towards the camera. He looks like both of the Bushes. But anyway, it's
Both of the bushes.
both of them. They look identical. So, but doesn't he look like George Bush? He looks a
I
little
also
more
like how I like how he's brought this kid into like the public eye
Uh-huh.
just so that he could say, "Oh yes, Superman hates children." Oh, God.
I always look in scenes like this because you can sometimes see, like a lot of times the microphones won't be plugged in, and they were here, but I was really hoping they wouldn't be. Also, totally no product placement with the Dunkin' Donuts coffee and the Pepsi on the table. That's not,
Oh no, not at all.
never. Here's a movie that did Jimmy Olsen in the role that Jimmy Olsen should be in.
Yeah, in a background character who essentially is there for exposition.
Yep, and then he leaves. There's more Dunkin' Donuts cups on the shelf, by the way, and more Pepsi
Oh, yeah,
in
I
the
see.
cooler in the back.
I
in case you
saw
want.
the Pepsi ones. Yeah.
I like the Superman plot thing. I just think this is a very ham-fisted social commentary movie, which is what
Yeah.
makes it.
Well, it's also just I like how all the computers popped up with the newspaper at the same time. And I get people might think we're being mean to this movie. I promise you, we're not being mean to it. We're being nice to it. If anything else, it deserves much worse.
It's not as bad as I expected so far. I mean, that
No,
being said, we're
the only like the only
25
pro
minutes
that I
in.
can the only pro that I can. Oh, that's a rough green shit. Oh, I love the miniature. That's great actually.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, I love the miniature. That's actually really good. But like, it's just it hasn't dragged as much as I thought it would, which I'm very glad at. But it's also just so.
The interior is bad, just by the way. The miniature was great. The interior is awful. It looks so much worse than it has in the past movies, and it's very clearly just a matte painting.
It's because there's no smoke or anything. Like Superman 2, famous. It has a lot of smoke and stuff.
Well, Superman 2 was a huge set. Also, who are these people? Like that's not Jor-El. And I've like this doesn't make any sense either because he's talking to the Kryptonian Council, who's would not have been uploaded into this system.
No, that's. I mean, this is probably just because Marlon Brando was either dead or didn't want anything to do with this movie.
Well, he didn't want anything to do with Superman 2 either, but they still got him.
No,
You know?
that's because they had money. This movie
true.
clearly does not.
That's true. But the thing about that was that set for that version of the Fortress of Solitude was literally just a matte painting that Superman stood in front of. It was either rear projected or blue screened or green screened, but it was just one. It was just one shot of it, so he couldn't move from that. Like the camera had to stay in that
The
position.
camera was fixed. They had no back wall or anything at all.
Right, and the Superman 2 is a set.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. So is this the one where they go to Niagara Falls?
No, that's Superman 2. That's a good movie.
Oh. Oh.
That's
Does Lois really have any right to be calling it a penguin suit when she's in possibly the worst coat I've ever seen?
well. One thing I like.
She's also in a nightgown. I just want to say
Right. No, that's what I was gonna say. It's
that's a
actually
pajama
really good.
top,
Yes.
without doubt.
This is a really. It looks like Lois's apartment from the
It-
first
it-
Superman movie.
Yeah, it does. It's too nice for Clark Kent. That's for sure.
What is the robot right next to his fireplace? What does that signify?
That's his hate for technology.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. I like the goose painting just on his wall too. It's all just it's great.
Oh, that's some rough composition.
You can see the blue around their head.
Yeah, you really can.
Also,
what-
wait. Oh,
took-
this is. I remember. This is the movie where
you can literally see the blue outlines around both of them.
This is the movie where he erases her memory by kissing her.
Oh God, it is, isn't it? That's a better shot. It's not great.
Is this
That's not-
is this the
that's
first
not
flight from Man of Steel? Is that what we're watching?
The thing is, right, you look at it and you go, wow, this doesn't look great. Like, they're clearly not where they're meant to be. And then, you get a bit of leniency, but you wouldn't go, let's keep on doing it.
Right.
That's what gets me about it. He also just drops Lois, which I love.
But she can apparently fly on her own. But
Yeah, she
I mean,
was
not
hovering.
really. She's falling.
Well, she's meant to be falling, but she was staying. It's so. Now they're in New York.
It's horrible. I mean, look at her hair.
Yeah, it's bad.
What you do?
Look at his hair.
His hair's better, at least. I mean, it's still bad, but
That's good. Like them coming in through the window.
well, that's because that's wires.
Right.
They're actually there, Josh. That's the problem.
How'd you love going to? She was falling and she had no guarantee she would be safe, Superman.
As she was screaming, "No!"
I feel like that's not true. You have your father who doesn't want to be in this movie. You have your real estate agent who you love playing catch with.
Right? But okay, has she not? She hasn't said anything about
Him being Clark. No.
him being Clark yet, or she does know and she's figured it out, but she's just not. She's not freaking out about it.
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, another thing that is very underrated about Christopher Reeve's Superman. He has a great Superman voice.
Oh yeah, it's very like deep and stoic.
Yes, and Henry Cavill has a pretty good Superman voice, but his is good. But he also that's just his voice. Christopher Reeve does a good Superman voice, probably the best out of any actor I've seen.
I also love how he erased her memory by kissing her and just leaves her outside for a minute,
Uh
and then he comes out as James Bond.
huh. The classic James Bond suit. I like that they match too. Their coats match.
Yeah, that's nice.
He just needs the red rose. That's all he needs, and then he's perfect.
Christopher Reeve and the next James Bond.
I feel like I have a bit of jet lag.
Yeah, that might be because you. I mean, where did they even go?
But also,
They went-
jet lag is due to like crossing time zones and.
Yeah, jet lag's when you go to another time zone and you're there for an extended period of time.
Uh-huh.
It's not like if I flew around the world and I went to Florida and then immediately went right back, I wouldn't be like, man, I'm feeling jet lagged. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm a bit tired because I had to sleep on the plane or something.
Right. She's not feeling jet lag. She's just, I don't know, maybe tired, but I don't.
maybe Superman's kiss took a lot of energy.
This is also the worst Christopher Reeve Superman hair has looked. So
Yeah, there's no. Where's the curl? Come on.
Superman 3 marks the last time that Superman had an official curl on screen. No, Superman Returns had a curl. I
Yeah.
take that back. I'm sorry. That was
Yeah, BVS has a curl and Justice
yeah,
League.
but not like an actual curl. I'm talking about a purposeful actual curl.
Lois, do you know how much a ticket's gonna cost here? Lacey, it's only money.
It's only
I just
money.
is that only money?
This is
So wait, I also like how Mr. Warfield or whatever his name is, he got this kid
George
to
Bush.
berate Superman on just a public stage, and then Superman turns up, walks him into a building, and is like, "I'm out."
not
See ya.
just a building. Superman walks into the United Nations meeting uninvited.
Just because, and everyone's like, "We love you,
Everyone's like, yeah, it's
Superman."
Superman, and then he's gonna walk up there and say, "We need to do away with all nuclear weapons," and then it's over. Like that's it. This may
Yeah,
be
the thing that I do love about this is because it's nothing to do with this, right? It's because it reminds me of the Justice League animated series, where the very first episode is Superman doing the exact same thing,
right.
but that actually has a good story and a purpose.
I think this is the best Christopher Reeve's body has looked as Superman. I mean,
He definitely looks built, which is nice.
I mean, it's great.
Madam Secretary?
Honorable. I mean, this is very sort of Superman-ish.
It's
I feel like
It's
that describes
Superman
the
with
movie
ham-
Superman-ish.
it's Superman with ham-fisted social commentary. It is very Superman, but it's also ham-fisted social commentary. So, like, you take some and
You win some, you lose some.
that's the plus of this movie is it is very Superman. I would take. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say that yet. I was just about to say I would take this over some of the more modern Supermen, but I don't want to say that yet. I haven't said that the whole movie.
I'm gonna be wrong. I wouldn't.
No, I probably wouldn't. But that
I
being
also like
said-
this. Where he just goes, "I'll rid our planet of all nuclear weapons," and everyone's like, "Yeah, you go." In reality, that is not what would happen.
Right. No.
Some-
Especially
Someone
the
would
United
say it,
Nations.
and then someone from like Russia or something would go over my dead body, and then everyone else would go, "Yeah, we want our nuclear weapons, Superman. You're not just gonna." I feel like that's illegal.
I mean, it is, but what are you gonna do? Arrest Superman? This is
Yeah.
This is why Superman is terrifying. Because
This is why Batman has a point in PBS.
right. Well, I mean he doesn't.
Also, I like their plan to get rid of nuclear weapons. It's to fire the nukes. Oh, there's the green screen again. On number 4, I think.
Yeah, this would be number 5 so far, but you're keeping count. There. Oh, man, it's beautiful.
But yeah, I like that their plan to get rid of nuclear weapons is to just fire them into space and hope Superman catches them.
Yeah. See, my thought would be if I were Superman gathering up nuclear weapons, I would just fly to all the places where the nuclear weapons are kept and steal them and take them
Yeah.
into space myself. Also,
I mean, even the Justice League animated series again, which does the same thing. That's rough.
yeah, man.
But you can see the blue light around the edges.
I think the net is a somewhat interesting idea.
Well, it's very sort of cheesy Superman comics, which is nice in a way.
Right.
That green screen is not where he's
The,
flying it into.
the bad part, that was the best shot in the movie.
That was great. Him flying out of it, that was good.
Another thing about the blue screen, or I guess it's green screen. I can't tell.
I think it's blue, but then he's also in blue, so it doesn't make sense.
Right, but when they're chroma keying him, all the yellow is taken out of his suit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the back of his suit where the logo is, it looks very desaturated.
So does the
I also like how he throws it into the sun.
as if that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like the sun's a giant ball of radiation, and you're just adding more radiation to it. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, it's Lex Luthor's apartment. What do you think?
I like it. It's very Gatsby.
I like the set a lot. Yeah, it is very much.
It's very
is a good
Gatsby,
word
which
for it.
works.
So is Trixie. Trixie is also very Gatsby.
Oh yeah, big time. Even this guy's very Gatsby.
Everybody in this movie on Lex Luthor's team except for Lenny is very Gatsby.
Lenny is very the Warriors.
Right. I don't know what Lenny is.
Lenny is something.
Jean-Pierre, you didn't bite on the black market.
I is this the worst Gene Hackman was as Lex Luthor?
I like to think
Yeah,
of you as
probably. It's still good. It's just like this. If it doesn't have the heart,
He doesn't care.
yeah, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't want to be in the movie. Rightfully so. I don't think anyone wanted to be in the movie.
Right.
we work together.
Which begs the question: why did they choose to make it outside of money?
Right. I also I think the plot of this movie gets kind of muddled. When because the whole thing is like anti-nuclear war, but then getting rid of the nukes on Earth wound up making the villain of this movie. So
It's nothing more than a huge nuclear bomb.
I think one of my favorite parts of this movie is like it's no secret Nuclear Man turns up in a bit
right.
as a result of the nukes getting thrown out. I think.
Well, but Lex Luthor just said that the sun was a huge nuclear bomb. I guess he knows about it, but it almost feels like it's a separate plan, because Lex Luthor was getting Superman's hair to
Right, but then he's also talking to these guys about putting in one that. So these guys own nuclear missiles,
right.
which is
I'll introduce him to his first nightmare.
So how is Nuclear Man to be created if Superman
that's a
doesn't
good
throw the
question.
nukes into the sun?
it sounds like he's gonna get a nuke with Superman's hair, throw that into the sun, and then that's gonna make him.
I mean, I know the hair goes into the sun somehow. I know that much.
I do like that the guy who played Nuclear Man has 3 credits to his name in his entire career.
What are the other two? Do you know?
It's a film called Wise Guy. It's not even a film, sorry. It's a TV series called Wise Guy from 1988, which it has Jonathan Banks in it from
Oh.
Breaking Bad.
Okay. I mean, that's
He's like the lead, but he's in one episode of that, and he's in a TV series called Alaska Kid, which, as far as I can tell, had 1 season of 13 episodes, and there is nothing to say about it.
Gotcha. I wonder if a lot of this feels left over from a different set. I wonder how much of this movie is leftover stuff that Warner Brothers just had on the back
Well,
lot.
none of it was shot at Pinewood Studios, which is where every other film was shot.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why all the sets look cheap, because they had to be made very quickly.
Well, but even these uniforms they look sci-fi, kind of, they don't look like actual scientific uniforms. They look, I don't know, they look very science fiction, futuristic. Which is that's what led me to ask the question. I don't actually know.
So, I'm just gonna keep on spouting off trivia facts because there's nothing else to talk about in
so
terms
far-
of what's happening.
So far, everything that's happened is very nonsensical, and none of it makes any sense at all.
No, I don't understand any of it. So originally, Nuclear Man was going to be played by Christopher Reeve.
I like that better.
Well, what they were going to do is it was kind of going to be like a dark version of Bizarro.
Right, which they just did in the last movie, but continue.
But I think that's why they kind of went against it. 'Cause they were like, we literally just did that, Christopher. We can't do that again.
Right. Oh, I forgot he wrote this movie. So he wrote. It's like that Will Smith movie. Was it Gemini Man, where he played?
Yes.
So Will Smith wrote and produced a movie where he played not only himself, but also himself. Like he wrote a movie for himself to play two characters.
Yeah. And it's almost the exact same for this. I also found out how they did Superman's flying scenes, which do you know about that? Because I don't understand what's going on the screen. So they're launching a nuke, from what I can tell, at Superman's hair.
No, I think Superman's hair is in the nuke.
Nuke, right, got ya.
Not only his
Oh
hair,
yeah.
but
And then
also
Superman goes to save it.
also protoplasm from that was grown from the hair. I think is how it works.
Okay. Well, okay, so why is he? He's just got that and chucked it a little bit, which it did not move that fast.
No.
I also like the distance between this Earth and the Sun is tiny.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that was also the same explosion from earlier, and that's made Nuclear Man.
Right.
Is this 2001: A Space Odyssey?
It is. No, I like.
Okay. I like that he's in costume.
I think it would be slightly more interesting if. No, there's no
Okay,
way.
that's not a bad effect. I don't want to say the lightning's nice.
Yeah, the lightning's really good. The fingernails are also probably my favorite effect in the whole movie.
They're quite nice. The line has to be hand painted, I imagine, because it's like it's coursing through the fingers and everything.
Yeah, I would think. I don't know how else you would do that.
I do like that he's made in costume and immediately
And-
knows he needs to kill Superman.
But then immediately we cut to this scene, like you were talking about earlier.
It's just a bunch of scenes. There's no
Yeah.
connecting tissue. This is me in the gym.
Yeah, no, this is great. I like the scarf around his neck. Or not
Yeah,
a scarf, it's a
I
towel.
don't. I like that it makes him look like a loser. That's one thing. Christopher Reeve is great at making himself look like a loser.
Right. Which you got to respect anybody who's going to make himself look bad in a movie.
Right. Exactly. Like even now, he's just mocking the sign,
Yeah.
and he looks scrawny, which is a really nice effect
Uh-huh.
when he's ripped.
Right. Well, he's wearing baggy clothes. That's how they
Which-
pull that off.
it's a great little detail.
You can look at his legs, where he's not wearing scrawny clothes.
Just push down.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I think the implication there is that he's flying, like that. But
Yeah, I like to believe that he's flying and he's just holding onto the thing.
Uh-huh. It's great.
Which, speaking of, his so his flying harness
Okay.
in the old movies, it was hidden under his cape, right?
Gotcha.
But in this movie, they chose to hide it under his waist. Like he wore the shorts, then wore a harness, and then wore a larger version of the shorts over the harness to hide them.
Gotcha.
And because of that, if you look next time he's flying, look at his waist, and it just looks massive
I'm
because he's
excited.
got a giant harness on underneath it.
So could you see if it was blue screen or green screen?
I can't say anything about that, but I think it's blue just because there's been so many like blue light on the compositing.
Right. That I did notice that. It could be yellow. Could be yellow screen.
It might be.
Um.
Oh, that's a great. This is kind of great, but also not.
Right. There's a lot of this movie that.
No pain, no gain.
But like that's kind of great, but also not because it's a nice little in joke. but
Right.
you would not catch Clark Kent dead doing that.
Right. Is this Lex Luthor's wearing the shirt that James Bond wears and On Her Majesty's Secret Service?
Yeah, he is. He's wearing the awful double-breasted shirt.
It's the exact same one. It's a pirate shirt. Wow, I never. This shirt just keeps coming up in movies we discuss. I feel like, and that's the ugliest jacket I think I've ever seen in my life.
Without a doubt, it's awful. It looks like the kind of thing. It doesn't. Like, there's nothing to describe it.
However, it's very Gatsby.
Yeah, it is. It's very Gatsby.
He's beautiful.
Beautiful, but he's born in a weird latex outfit.
Do you think that's just his skin?
I mean, in theory, yeah. He molded from it from a baby.
Yeah. He just can't. That's just who he is. He can't take that off.
Power of the sun has given him internally generated.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hands.
So why haven't either of us done a Nuclear Man edit?
Because he's a terrible character who holds no purpose to the story whatsoever.
He's made his way to comics, correct?
No. I think he's made his way to comics, but no one wants to admit that he's made his way to comics.
Gotcha. This is a pretty good effect. Because it's wires, like he's actually there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. The weird blue light around him doesn't, but I feel like it holds on him spinning for a bit too long.
Yeah.
But that's just a quick gag, you know. He's also God, that's a bit rough. When he's like on the ground and he's spinning his arm, but he's kneeling and he's still spin up.
The ADR isn't bad.
No, it's good enough.
He just powers down.
I also like that Lex Luthor's like he smokes, which is quite nice. Not Lex Luthor, but Nuclear Man. He smokes when he's powered down. It's a nice little effect.
Yeah, and he gets cold.
That's his vulnerability.
It's great.
But like I do like that Lex Luthor's like, oh no, you're not going to destroy Superman now.
Loudmouth nephew.
We have a lot of plans to go through.
Okay, so something about when he's kneeling, I want to see if it cuts back to it again. It's like the smoke around him didn't. I don't know. Something was off about the compositing there. It was almost like it was blue screened again.
I thought they just had a smoke machine behind him, and they were just like,
That's
just
what I
let it
figured,
go.
but it looked. I don't know. Something around the hands looked odd, but it could just be me.
Never had a double date before.
Um,
This is fun. How do I look?
So a double date, is it a double date between Superman and
Like the last 6 dresses you
Lois? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening, Josh.
I lost the plot about 10 minutes ago.
I'm trying to follow this, but I'm doing a horrible job trying to keep up.
No. No, Superman makes a different kind of
Okay, so it's a double date between Clark, Superman,
Clark and
Lois, and
Superman
Blondie.
and Lois and
Blondie.
Blondie.
Yeah.
I did look at it's Lacey. Her name's Lacey. I remember that. There you go.
Gotcha.
But I'm not going to call her Lacey.
Yeah, sure.
I imagine the first thing you do is ask your date to.
Hey, I need some money.
That's very Clark Kent.
It really is.
Ah.
Are you or are you not part of a plot to weaken our national defense?
That's great. That's great. Dinner conversation.
Right. Also, what is with that huge plant?
Yeah, I guess that this is Lacey's place.
It's either Lacey's place or Lois's place.
Either way, I mean, if it's Lois's place, I need to become a reporter.
Right. Especially
Lois is wearing an awful dress too.
Well, yes.
There's a different kind of influence.
So they're doing this thing. This trope. It's one of my
Yeah,
least favorite tropes
it's-
in
No,
the
they
best.
always do it in sitcoms.
Yeah, well, they did it in BoJack, which was great. That was the best thing to
When
ever
did
do it.
when did they
Todd-
do in BoJack?
When Todd was in jail.
Oh
And he
yeah,
had to
yeah,
choose
right.
between the two different
two people.
gangs at the dance.
There's two times I think it's been done well. BoJack and Community, and both times it was making fun of the trope.
Right, exactly. Uh, he's. Why was this sequence needed in a Superman movie?
It's just, I mean, why is this whole thing? I don't remember this plot going anywhere.
Also, here's the problem with Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. We are. Oh, he's burning the chicken.
He X-rays and burns through the chicken.
We're over halfway through the movie,
Right, yeah, we just crossed the halfway mark. Thank God.
but the plot still hasn't.
I don't know what
started.
is going on.
The main villain. We're over halfway through the movie, and the main villain has just been introduced.
I don't. Yeah, I mean that's an issue.
Hey, what's taking Clark so long at the back of his car?
Well, I assume this is like the top floor of the building, so you could make that. Oh, I don't know. I just want this scene to be over with.
Yeah, this whole sequence is. I don't know. I don't care for it. That was great. I feel like that was unscripted, but
What the slip?
the little slip that was great. I
Yeah,
loved
that was very good.
Let's go do something.
I also like. Wait, so this is Lois's place because
Yeah.
she wants to get out of there.
Right.
What did she see in Clark Kent?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's a great bit.
Now we've suddenly entered a Looney Tunes cartoon.
This is Looney Tunes back in action. I like how he just stands there for a couple of seconds.
Also,
And this
wait,
doorman, this poor
wait.
doorman.
Wait to take off the glasses, Clark.
Yeah, hold on. What is he?
He drives a Cadillac, so that's nice. Good
I also like how people there's found like that doorman saw him get in the car and Superman get out.
Uh-huh.
God, he is ripped. You can just about you saw
Oh,
it
yeah.
just there.
Oh yeah. Even without a muscle kit, he's just jacked.
Yeah, he was a ex bodybuilder, right?
I don't think so. It could be. I don't know. The
It's a
whole
sad thing that Richard Donner
look.
got fired.
Twin Towers.
Ooh.
I love seeing those.
Did Sam Raimi direct this film?
Thing about it is Metropolis is not supposed to be New York, right?
No.
It's supposed to be
But
Chicago.
isn't wait? Actually, no. Metropolis might be New York because I think after Batman Begins, Gotham's usually described as Chicago.
See, I thought at this point Gotham was New York. And
I think in this time
Metropolis
period, maybe.
was Chicago. I don't know. I just know in Batman Forever no, it's Batman Forever. Two-Face drives a helicopter into the Statue of Liberty.
See, it's kind of at this point that you think, okay, maybe Clark Kent is Superman because they're not in the same room at the same time ever.
I don't know. That was the smoothest one. He just slips out, and all of a sudden Clark is there. He said hello.
Wait, why was Lacey telling him to just leave it there? If this is Lois's place.
I remember this. Okay. I remember this part.
Man, I love Amazing Spider-Man too.
Okay.
Okay,
So here's the thing.
we've got about 30 minutes to go, which
Uh-huh.
I'm very thankful for.
And the movie hasn't started.
No, not at all.
Here's the thing. So is Superman the only one who can see it?
Yeah, that's why I'm good. Like, no one's gonna comment on that.
Lex Luthor is a felon.
He's a convicted felon who's escaped, and no one cares.
Yeah. fascinating. It's very interesting. That's a good effect. But that's once again, anytime it's actual wires, the flight is good.
Yeah, when they have wires, it's good. It's just every time they don't.
The blue screen shots are bad.
The blue looks duller than the last movies. Is that just me?
I think it's just this movie hasn't been transferred the same, or color
Well,
correction.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just they sensed that they lost hope in the movie and they wanted to represent that through Superman.
Well, it could be the color correction too. You know, who knows? This one does seem a little more flat than the last few, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean by that. It's just, well, everything about this movie is just like bleh.
Yeah. This is the worst Superman movie that's ever
Oh,
been.
without a doubt, without a doubt. I know people don't like Superman Returns. I'm one of them. Wow, even his even his blue screens aren't good.
See, I really enjoy Superman Returns. Very much so. I'm a big fan of it. So, you know, you can put me in that camp. But this is the worst Superman movie, without a doubt.
Do you know that the movie was going to be 134 minutes?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was going to be 134 minutes, and then they cut a bunch of deleted footage, so it's down to 90.
I want to see the director's cut.
Well, that's the thing. Originally, what they were going to do is they were going to take that, like, how much? 50 minutes?
Oh, yeah, I remember this. They were going to release another movie.
They were going to use it for a fifth Superman film.
Could you imagine?
But it'd be terrible. It'd be like Justice League.
This is worse than Justice League.
Oh, without a doubt. People complain about Justice League, but Justice League's fine. It's got dodgy CGI because they worked on it for like 6 weeks. But at least it has a semi-cohesive story.
The problem with this, yeah, the problem boils down to the story. We can make fun of the effects and it's a lot of the dated stuff, which, yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. It's pretty easy to make fun of, but
The story
the
just
story,
like okay. At least in Justice League,
or lack thereof. Lack of story is the problem.
yeah, like at least in Justice League, every scene had some transition to the next scene, right? It wasn't like you see Aquaman in Atlantis, suddenly the Flash is talking to Bruce, and there's nothing to do with either of them.
Right. Also, I mean, yeah, that's a neat effect.
Yeah, the footprints, yeah.
Yeah.
Destroyed Superman seems like it's about half the fun, half the script.
Right.
Oh, here we go. The meat.
Oh,
That's nice. The like wall bit was nice.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Now they're falling off the Empire State Building.
the wall turned into styrofoam and then they fell. Yeah, that's so good. This is
This is horrible.
this is some of the
Oh,
worst
did you
special effects ever put to film.
Okay, I'll update that to 7. Did you see when Superman fell there? They literally just dragged him down. Like, he wasn't moving.
Yeah. Okay, yes, this is the movie where he rebuilds the Great Wall of China with his vision.
Yeah. Wait, so should I count it as 7 blue screens? Because Nuclear Man's was exactly the same.
No.
Alright, I'll be fine. I'll keep it as 6.
A good, solid miniature. But
Yeah, the miniature stuff in this movie is great.
I feel like the miniature work must have happened before the
Before
new...
they lost faith in the script
Well,
and everything.
I meant before the new team took over.
That's really good.
Yeah, good compositing.
His hair's a bit wavy.
There
Not
it
in a good
goes.
way. Yeah. I love how there's no build up, set up, or even like
I
no,
don't.
there's no movement to that. The
I-
scene before that was him flying up.
I don't think he was supposed to rebuild that. I think he was just nodding at the crowd. But then they threw in the effect of him rebuilding. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about that somewhere, and that makes sense because that's what. I didn't even-
No, this is awful.
That was pitiful.
Also, when you get the chance, look at Ultraman's hair when they're blue screening it.
Oh, I don't.
You can see the blue screen through it.
Is he Nuclear
I
Man,
don't-
not Ultraman, by the way.
It's,
Once again, solid miniature work here.
yeah, I don't understand what's happening, but I like that.
I think he's recharged, or he just went in and broke the volcano to cause it to erupt.
I mean, that looked like it was reversed because the smoke was going into the volcano.
I would assume it's not, because I don't know how you would reverse that. Now the lava
Right.
here probably is reversed.
That's a nice.
Also,
That's a nice one.
the-
The little explosion
Yeah, this is all.
and these miniatures of the city on fire. That's
Yeah.
nice.
It's great. Anytime,
Oh, 7.
anytime there's a practical effect. Back to
Yeah, you can. That's a nice effect.
yeah, the heat vision, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the heat vision on the mountain.
It's okay. I like that it's just mud that's running through the street.
I like that he plugs a volcano with another mountain
Uh-huh.
and he drops it into it, and they're like, "That stopped the lava. You saved us, Superman."
I'm pretty sure he did a
Ooh,
very
that
similar
3
thing
buff.
in Superman 2, I want to say. Or it may have been
I-
Superman 3.
It's been so long since I've seen that I can't remember.
I know he froze a lake once and then picked up the lake and dropped it on a fire.
You see, that's more believable to me than plugging a volcano, because he dropped that
The
from a really
nails
big
again. I saw. I'm looking at the big waist now, and I can't stop staring at it.
The nails are out. This is where the movie gets good.
Is it?
See, the thing is, like, a lot of people complain about the moon. Oh, that's not good. A lot of people complain about like the moon fight, but the moon fight's the best part of the sequence.
The moonfight is the best part of this movie
Genuinely, yeah.
because it's the only part that's somewhat okay. So I guess this is New York. I mean, there's the
Yeah, that's the Statue of Liberty.
okay. I mean, we knew it was New York because we saw the Twin Towers, but and the Empire State Building.
But is this meant to be Metropolis? That's my question.
Yes.
I like that he stops at the Statue of Liberty.
No. He took it.
He picked up the stage. Oh, that's not a good image, is it?
This one's not bad. The close-up isn't horrible.
No, I just mean the image of something flying in that direction.
Oh. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, you can see the city through the fingers.
Yeah.
That's bad. That must be green screen then, right?
I can't tell at this point.
Maybe it's both.
Probably. I'll make sure. There it is again.
Oh, yeah. Update that. I wonder if we're going to get into double digits.
I would think so, and I'm sure we've missed some already. There it is again.
We're into double digits. 3 seconds after I said it.
It's like
The thing is, right, I'm thinking back to Superman 1, and I'm thinking about him catching the Daily Planet before it falls on people.
oh yeah.
And I'm just thinking about it now, and I'm like, this is where it's come to, huh?
Was that one or was that Returns, or did they do it?
It happens in... No, I know it happens in Return, but I thought it happened in 1 too.
No, you're thinking of Lois falling out of the helicopter, which is another
That's it.
amazing suspenseful sequence.
Oh, yeah. And then you don't... I can't take Ultraman serious.
No,
Nuclear
I
Man,
can't
whatever his
either.
name is.
And-
Bizarro.
And he was reaching towards. Oh, this is where he makes.
He makes him mortal, right?
I don't think it's that. Is it that he makes him mortal or he makes him evil?
No, I think he makes him mortal, because that's what Lex Luthor said earlier.
They already did that. They did that in Superman 2.
Yeah, but they made him evil in Superman 2 as well.
No, they made him evil in Superman 3.
Oh, wait, is this the one where he goes to the bar and he's got the dark circles
No,
around his eyes?
that's Superman 3.
Then yeah, they made him evil in both. His cape. Wow, they really dropped that cape on the Statue of Liberty.
And it was like. Oh, it was George Bush again. George Bush and his daughter Lacey.
My favourite. Lacey Warfield 2020.
Oh, she now owns the planet?
Cape? Yeah, it sounds like it. What happened to my guy Perry White? All I can think about is the Spider-Man 2 scene. Where maybe he was a hero. And I never realized it. He's a menace to society.
You certainly have no right to this.
And Lois does for some reason.
I mean, she's useless.
What? Yeah, I don't.
Fire that Clark Kent. He hasn't been around. He hasn't even telephoned.
So is Superman dead? Is that what's going on? Are they doing the
I
death
think
of
that's
Superman?
what they're like. That's what they're getting at. They think he's dead because his cape's been found, but he's disappeared.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Superman. What one was it? Oh, Christ.
Why is she tying this up? Like, I figured she would keep it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so bizarre. Like this entire movie feels like it was made in Bizarro World.
It's like if a computer.
It's like it's like that meme then where it's like I forced the computer to watch 1,000 hours of Superman movies and write a new script.
Right, I forced a computer to watch 3 Superman movies and write me a script, and this is what you got. 3 Superman movies and a billion after-school specials.
And
Oh, so,
I like that she just breaks into his house.
so he just made him sick.
Well, I think so. Or is he sick because he's now human? Which they did in Superman 2.
No, in Superman
And
2, he
three.
just got into a bar fight. He was not human in Superman 3. You're getting your Supermans mixed up.
Yeah, I am. I know that one of them he does the thing where he goes into like Jor-El's phone booth and he
That's-
like pretends to be human again, but he actually gets his powers back.
That's Superman 2, and he does it so he can be with Lois.
Yeah, and
then-
he changes it so that Zod becomes human.
Right. And then Lois does not somehow. I don't remember how he erases her memory before 3.
He kisses her again.
Oh, is that it?
Maybe.
I think it is.
Or maybe
actually,
he doesn't do it.
I think that's true. Actually, this
I've
is
not-
the
I've heard-
best looking shot in the movie. Them being lit by firelight and the red outside. This is a beautifully filmed shot. Like this is
Yeah, the flashing of the red as well.
this is the only shot so far in the movie that has looked cinematic.
And that's saying something. Actually, no, I'll give it to them. Him like dropping the guy on the Great Wall of China, that was cinematic because it was a wire work.
Yeah, but it still wasn't well shot. It still looked
Okay,
flat and
yeah,
ugly.
it was very weirdly shot. I'll give him that.
The whole movie is just kind of flat. And it reminds me of like, because that's my biggest issue with the MCU, is that all the movies are kind of ugly because they're all just very flat.
Right, yeah.
There's not a whole lot of depth to them, and this movie feels like that. Like this is like watching the. But it almost feels. I don't know. It's very clearly
Very
much,
just kind of
much worse.
generic.
Right.
Like, there's nothing special about any of the shots.
It feels like an episode of Lois and Clark.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like an hour and a half long episode of Lois and Clark.
Right. The love triangle between Lois, Clark, and Tracy. This is actually an
I
episode
feel
of
like Lois and
Clark.
Clark probably did that with Lana.
No, because Lana wasn't ever in Lois and Clark, to my knowledge.
I swear she was.
Yeah, they did that with Cat Grant.
That was it. I mixed up Cat Grant and Lana.
This is actually supposed to be a
This
pilot.
movie is actively erasing my memory of Superman.
I think this
Shoot.
movie and 3 to a lesser extent. I mean, more people remember 3 than this movie. 3 is a much better movie than this one.
3 actually has some nice stuff in it.
Right. I think this is what people think about when they think about Christopher Reeve Superman. The people who haven't seen the Christopher Reeve Superman movies in forever, like us, but they think about
Right.
this and then they think like, it's dated and cheesy. But the first 2 are really pretty good. I just
Well,
think.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like he's like Batman with that cape. But like, yeah, no. The thing is, it's like people think of Christopher Reeve's Superman movies as kind of black and white. They're like, oh, 1 and 2 are fantastic, some of the best Superman movies, and then 3 and 4 are garbage.
Right. In 3, like I said, once again, 3 significantly better than this movie.
3 has a lot of redeeming qualities. I kind of like it. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure in a way.
Richard Pryor is great.
Oh yeah, he's wonderful. And then the whole like Clark struggling with him and Superman as like two identities, and then overcoming that as Clark Kent instead of Superman. It's just gloriously true to the character.
A couple of things I've noticed from the Nuclear Man costume that are very clearly just taken from the Superman costume is the belt and the boots. They're just
Yeah.
recycled. And
I
spray
also I
painted.
like it. Kind of bothers me that his logo looks like it overlaps.
I think that's on purpose.
No, it almost definitely is. I just think it's stupid.
Oh, I remember because in this scene he looks like he's turned into an old man,
Right? Yeah.
and I
he
don't.
does.
I don't. I'm.
It's
Thinking,
like he's been in Chernobyl.
it's almost like All Star, where he gets like sun cancer, but that takes a year to kill him, and this takes 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he just had a cold when Lois saw him. I can like. And here's the issue: there's no clear passage of time here.
Right.
It's like Superman was fighting Nuclear Man. Boom, he's dead. Has it been 2 weeks?
Right.
Or
Right. Has it been?
it's got
6
some time
months?
has passed because he wanted to fire Clark Kent after not hearing a phone call or anything. It's like that's got to be more than one day.
Right.
But then Clark sees Lois and he's got a bit of a cold. We cut to this, and then we go back to Clark, and presumably it's the same day, but he looks like he's aged about 50 years.
Right. Does
I just
Nuclear Man
don't-
fall in love with
I'm-
Tracy? Is that what we're? Is that what's going on now? Is that what this movie's about to do in the last 15 minutes?
I think it might.
There are 15 minutes left. You do this. You
I'll
introduce.
tell you. Okay, I've been trying to think about what Ultraman. Like, I'm gonna keep calling him Ultraman. What Ultraman reminds me of, and he reminds me of the guy who played Mummy in Mummy.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
Every time he screams, he does the same. "Whoa!"
That effect with the taxi almost looked like they just messed it up, but they kept it in the movie anyway.
No, that was a complete accident, and that's why it's the best effect in the movie.
Well, it's like it was supposed to hit him, but they
I
stopped
do
it
love.
too early.
I love how undefined Nuclear Man's powers are.
Well, I mean,
Like he can just
but to be
fling
fair,
balls of energy,
this is the same movie that let Superman rebuild
rebuild the wall of
Wall
China.
of China. Also, how did Superman know about Tracy? How did he know that Nuclear Man was?
He wanted, yeah. Oh god, yeah. Also, why is Superman healed now? Did he like? Because the crystal's like all that remains of Krypton's energy is yours. So did that cure him? Because there's no clear.
Sure. That's one of those scenes that got chopped to make Superman 5.
That's why I kind of want to see what Superman 5 was going to be.
I don't.
He just hit a SWAT van with energy and made it tip onto its front. That's not how SWAT vans work.
And the people
No.
just hopped out of the back.
Is he mounting the guns or is he just? I don't.
I don't
What
know,
is
Josh.
happening?
I don't know. Superman has, just so we're clear, Superman has stood by.
He's
and
just
let
waiting.
all of this happen.
Did he just use telekinesis to lower those people?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
This is terrible.
Superman could have stopped Nuclear Man at any point.
That's a pretty cinematic shot. Like the fire behind Nuclear Man.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it that. This movie had 2 shots in it that actually looked
cinematic.
like a movie.
That makes it as good as the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, yeah. That's another. We should do. This is the same shot
That was the same shot 3 times.
3 times in a row. I wonder.
Him go the outside shots of the windows. Why didn't they just do that from the first place?
Do it the whole time. Do it the whole way up. Do it once and then do that the whole way up. I don't.
Yeah, that would have been sick. That would have been awesome. He also just. I don't. What?
His-
What?
Okay, so his weakness. I don't know how Clark knows this. His weakness is when he is.
He's in an elevator.
It's when he's not. It's the same thing, but it's like a more extreme version of the red sun. He's got to be in the sun to be seen. Also, that was very clearly just a Superman action figure that they just went.
I don't. I feel like I've just fallen asleep and woken up after 20 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. This just happened so fast, and now we're at the moon fight, which, like,
Nothing happened, right? For for like, I want to say 80, like not 80, for 70 minutes, nothing happened. And then suddenly
I mean,
everything
we
happened.
had the first Nuclear Man fight.
The,
Okay.
that the sun rising up is a nice effect.
Yeah, and the sun is what's giving Nuclear Man his powers back. But for some reason, Superman decided to just chill out on the moon, even though he had no reason to.
But that's the thing I don't get, right? So if the sun gives Nuclear Man its powers, why did he like? Okay, so, A, how does Superman know that? Him touching the American flag is just terribly on the nose.
I
But it's
like that
also
the
great.
flag moves. Like,
It feels like there's no such thing as a script supervisor on this.
it feels like this feels like a Superman fan film.
It really does. But like, I just don't get it. I don't. I've been paying attention, and I don't understand. That doesn't
Can
that
we?
doesn't mean anything because there's no gravity.
Why does Nuclear Man think? Also, in some shots, Nuclear Man's armpits are shaved, and in others, they're not. Just thought
Yeah,
I'd point
I
that
thought I
out.
noticed that.
I don't.
That- This is probably the best choreographed fight scene.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's the fact that it's in slow motion makes it so much worse.
I mean, because it just makes the movie longer.
Well, yes, that would be the main reason.
I don't. Again, the movie's just so undefined. That's a really nice shot, like him getting hit with the energy and like
Oh, yeah.
flying backwards.
Yeah. Now it's not. It's not anymore.
No,
but it
now
was at
it's
first.
no.
Because now the energy isn't hitting him in the right spots, which doesn't make sense because you're making the effect in post. You can just
You can
Put it
change
on
that. Superman just got up from a completely laying position
yes.
in one move. The emptiness of space is nice.
Yeah. No, this is
It's probably the most what's the word? Competent. That's good. That was really good.
this
That was wise.
there's a reason that this is the only scene in the movie that people remember. The shadow on the ground is beautiful. I mean, you can tell that this is not blue screen, which is what makes this
Right.
sequence
Yeah.
better. And the effects are solid.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's kind of like again. This is really cheesy, but it's Superman cheesy.
The
He just
okay, we keep complimenting it, and then they do stuff like this.
every time we gotta say something nice about it, it's just like it pulls that whatever that is.
One thing I really like is the super harsh shadows, because that's realistically how it would look on the moon.
Yeah, if you've ever seen space stuff like a NASA spacewalk that they host or anything like that, because there's just the only light source is the sun. All you have is that one singular light source and nothing on the other side because there's no reflection or anything coming out of it.
And you're a little closer to the sun, so it's sharper. It's like during an eclipse, like the shadows
Yeah.
get sharper. So it's neat
Well,
that they. I mean, it was probably a mistake. They probably didn't do that on purpose. But it was
Well, it's
neat.
like the difference between standing behind a pane of glass and standing in the sun.
Right.
That's yeah. Okay. I didn't expect anything less from Superman 4.
I don't know what.
Is he he pushing the moon? Or is this just he's pushing the moon? I didn't know this happened. He's causing an eclipse. Superman, you're flooding half the countries in the world. Tracy's dead, by the way.
So many people are dead at this point. That effect of the causing the eclipse is gorgeous. I just want
Yeah,
to point that out.
Tracy.
there.
I just want to say Lacey is dead.
No, she can breathe
Like
in space.
straight up.
She can breathe in space. It's fine.
That's the worst one so far.
Yep.
He was so brightly lit.
Yep.
After we spent 5 minutes complimenting the movie about how it has really nice harsh shadows.
Okay, so,
So is his plan just to keep the Earth in an eternal eclipse?
that yeah, I guess. Oh, okay, he's coming back. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Also, the Earth is completely lit. By the way, I just want to say that while the moon blocks out the sun.
No. The sun is blocked out. Oh, okay. So his plan is to
He-
throw.
That Superman's got some great.
Okay,
This is awful. This is awful.
okay, but wouldn't that just give Nuclear Man more power?
More, yeah, he flew
I like
into a volcano earlier.
The little video game sound effect.
Oh, same thing, right? So is that Nuclear Man done with? Like they don't seem to acknowledge it.
So was this another subplot, the planet thing that I just didn't pick up
Then,
on
yeah,
through the whole movie?
I think the planet's getting bought out. I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't care.
From jail. You know, I'm not a tycoon. Just an old reporter.
George Bush is back. Is he a villain? I thought he was a good guy. I thought George Bush was a good guy. I don't.
No, I think he's a villain. I think he's trying to buy out the planet.
They did a horrible job at letting me know that.
They did a horrible job letting you know anything about this movie.
They did a horrible job at making a film.
So I convinced them to lend me the money. I
So okay, so Perry talked to some bankers, and they bought out his shares.
Okay. So now he owns
I
the
don't
planet
care.
again. Got it. Okay. No, that works.
I don't.
So George Bush
don't-
law.
George Bush bought out the planet to give to his daughter,
Also,
and then
that's
Cameron
Superman.
bought it out
Superman shot
again.
is the one in the newspaper was a promo from the first Superman movie. Just in case you wanted to know.
Oh, nice. I also want to say, Nuclear Man isn't dealt with. He's locked in a nuke where he's presumably gaining more power.
No, he was turning on nuclear power. Also, Pete Davidson standing right behind Superman.
I was going to point that out. Pete Davidson with the worst wig I've ever seen.
And then this is the same outfit that Clark Kent wears at the end of Justice League. So that's neat.
Yeah, that's a nice little throwback. God, Jimmy Olsen's wearing the worst bow tie.
Jimmy Olsen's always wearing the worst bow ties. Same.
I
with
like how there's
Mr.
been
Kent.
4 films of this where they're like, Clark, you're missing him.
The worst one is Superman 2, the Niagara Falls thing,
Yeah, oh no, absolutely.
because that you know.
But that does feature in my favorite Superman transformation, from where he goes to the hunch over and you see him like straighten his back
Uh-huh.
when he's gonna like tell her. I like that we're just ignoring Superman 4 to talk about best Superman movies.
Right.
We're still
So
there's
okay.
other civilizations for us to meet,
So I'm trying
like
to figure
Nuclear
out the
Man,
point of
who are
this.
currently locked in a Russian nuke.
I guess we always overlook the fact that Superman essentially means that there is alien life confirmed. So like,
Well, we knew that because Clark is an alien.
Right, that's what I'm
and
saying.
they know that. But it's like, I don't. Space travel has nothing to do with this movie. Nothing in this movie makes sense.
no, I'm really excited for this movie to be over. We've got,
Oh, I am too. I'm so glad that we've got 5 minutes left.
um,
Low for a while. Couple of years. I'll come up with a new plan.
so
Good thing I bought my drums.
why is Lex Luthor wearing goggles?
I don't know. I don't know. He's cosplaying Dick Dastardly.
I guess so. Yeah. Oh, okay. This car flies. That makes sense. Oh no, never mind. That was Superman. I thought.
This car flies. I also just want to say that Superman went from picking up a car to just carrying Lenny.
Yeah, which
But
means
there's no indication there.
presumably. This movie's so bad.
It's just like, I love that when we started. Like we were like, oh, it's actually not that bad.
It's
But then it
better
just
than I
got-
expected. Well, okay, so it doesn't feel. This has the Fan 4 stick effect, where this is half of
It
a
feels
movie.
like 5 different movies. Yeah.
Well, it feels like 5 different movies and half of a movie at the same time. Nothing and everything happen all at once. This is baffling.
It really is. I
And
don't.
you never understand.
You don't. Okay, wait. So you don't understand the motivations of anyone.
Right.
You don't understand what they're doing. You don't understand what powers the main villain has. You don't understand how the main villain gets defeated.
Or created.
I hate this movie.
And it's over. Oh, okay. Wait. Is this sequel setup that we're seeing now? Oh no.
I don't know.
Oh no. It's
just
the oblique.
it's
Okay.
all-
It's
it's
recycled Superman 2 footage. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, it's over.
It's got to be recycled, right? It just looks.
No, absolutely. Praise God.
It looks so much better. No, it's
It was crisper.
and
Okay,
the
I just want to say while these credits play, there was 11 shots of that one blue screen effect.
a Golan Globus production. Sounds like a Golan Globus production.
So they never say how Nuclear Man gets defeated.
I mean, he was thrown into a nuclear power plant and presumably turned into nuclear power. We're just gonna say that. We're gonna leave it there, and write that one off.
Not in my fan fiction. My fan fiction, he comes back to Superman 5. Honestly, that might not be too far off what they meant to happen.
Yeah.
If they're going to recycle footage,
Yeah, I would assume it would be the same villain. That would make sense. And so they just took the halfway point where he got sucked into that and decided to. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, this has been our commentary track on Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Josh, would you recommend it?
no. I feel like I'm a worse man having sat through that. And I think that if you could avoid this movie, you'd be living a better life than I am.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I think no, I think you don't need to watch this unless you're a Superman fan. If you're a big Superman fan, and I'm one of those rare Superman fans, it does have the one plus of having Christopher Reeve in it. That is this movie's.
It's his last movie.
That is this movie's one positive. So I will leave it at that. So yes, I am going to recommend Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. If and only if you are indifferent towards Superman, or if you kind of like Superman, do not watch this movie. But if you're a big Superman fan, yeah, go ahead and check it out.
I don't want to see this ever again.
No, I probably will never watch it again in my life. But at least I can say, and I have seen it once before. It's just been forever.
Yeah, I remember why it's been forever now. That's
Right.
I remember why.
And we're gonna do some more of these commentary tracks. So
Yeah, we've got a couple of movies planned out. We've got a couple of guests for a couple of movies.
it may be during because we are, if you're listening in the future, we are recording this during the COVID-19 shutdown. So we may do some more as the next few podcast episodes. So just let us know. You can follow us on Twitter at Josh and Dalton. You can follow me at Barrett.digital on Instagram, and you can follow Josh at BritEdit or BrightDit, if you will, on Instagram. And thanks for listening to this episode of Semi-Pro Commentary Track.
Please save me.
We'll see you next time.